babaláwo èèyàn ìbọrù bọyè òyàn.
Aboroboye, this is Olu Fakoladev Idinka Ifa Temple. We welcome you to Idinka Ifa Temple's Ile Juba service. So this is our Sunday service. We do Ifa sermons every first and third Sunday. We welcome you. We thank you for joining us. In terms of that, we give at least 3 to 5 Ifa verses every other Sunday, just to give you a good understanding of what Ifa is. And our objective, my objective, is to assist in making Ifa user friendly in a way that is not necessarily commerce based initially. So you can come here and hopefully get spiritually fed, definitely get spiritually renewed, and it is an aspect of Ifa that the currency is community. So I want to begin with morning prayers. So if you are near your Ifa, or if you can put your head to the floor, please join us in prayer. Ejiogbe, mojuba Ọlọ́run, mojuba leda, mojuba Olódùmarè, mojuba bobo romale, mojuba bobo imale, mojuba bobo egun tembili solódùmarè. Mojuba, Miss Mother Dear Lucille Dance Mary, Mojuba Darson, Mojuba Base Mary Senior, Mojuba Academics, Mojuba Clifford Watkins, Mojuba Dale, Mojuba Anago, Mojuba and Jenny Don, Mojuba Katie Bradley, Mojuba Skabali, Mojuba James Oris, Mojuba Benino Chino, Wampuno, Noblaka, Dennis Agustin Jomil, Mojuba Boboy, Gun, Billy Sodoma, Mojuba, Oba, Sejamana, that from the first, Mojuba, I won't met a hochis on Mojuba to all of my elders, Mojuba to my mother. So Mojuba to my father, Robert. Mojuba to my Baba Ifa. Solagbade Popola Mojuba to my elders. Irawo Ifa Mojuba to Jose Rodriguez. Bad my elders. Ogundei. Felipe Garcia Villamil. I pay homage. Adiogbe. He who hears people's pleas and sets a pleas. He who hears people's pleas and proves pleas. He who talks to people and ensures that the talk is completely absorbed. He who hears people's pleas and sets pleas, name Ifa. He who hears people's pleas and proves pleas, your name shall die. He who talks to people and ensures that the talk is completely absorbed, his name Orishana. Orishana be the person most beings. Person most one cannot fail to impress one. Strike frogs on some rainfall. Bull frogs on some downpours. Whatever that can raise you point to the third. Whatever that accepts. Whatever the big rat tells earth, what that accepts. All what I tell you, Father, please accept them and prove them. Oh, Turete, to show gratitude upon gratitude is the hour of our gratitude. To display benevolence is the hour of all benevolence. Whoever does not show gratitude for yesterday's benevolence, such a person will not receive today's gratuity. These were the declarations of Ifa to the 401 in Rumela. When going to Mariopwe, daughter of Ushubuji, I am grateful. I see my gratuity. I'm grateful for yesterday's favor. I'll see today's gratuity. All to Rete, we are very grateful. Ashe. Awa dupe, awa bure, awa dupe, awa bure, adupe, ana awa bure, tunebo, Olodumare, awa dupe, awa bure. Awadupe awabure adupe anawa obore tunebo orieni awadupe awabure awadupe awabure adupe anawa obore tunebo erumole Awadupe, awabure, awadupe, awabure, adupe, anawa obure tunebo, legun lorisha. O Lord, divine divinities, we ask for forgiveness forgive us for anything that we may have done wrong, anything that we might have broken, any taboo we might have done. We call on it, Russell. To pound it down without soup can be very difficult to consume. These are the decorations we got to the child of our Granny Ragoon. He was full of bad character. He's bad attitude that prevented him from entity violence, man. Now come to solicit on behalf of the Tutu. We come to beg on behalf of the Tutu. Father, please be patient, overlook this provocation. Those who beg on behalf of the Tutu. How many children does Ifa have that he will cast one out? Those who beg on behalf of Tutu. Rumless on by saying those who beg on behalf of the Tutu. Those who solicit on behalf of the Tutu. How many children does Ifa have that he will cast one out? Those who beg on behalf of Tutu. Ifa, thank you for forgiving us. We ask that you would continue to ward off death, ward off sickness, ward off cases, controversy, ward off fights, ward off litigation, losses in our right fights, ward off witchcraft and negative energy from us. Ward off evil, ward off danger, ward off all disease and problems. Bring to us life. Give us wealth, give us spouse, give us good children, give us peace of mind, give us joy, give us success, give us healing, give us the victory. Before we call on you, on the Odu Ifa Belara. Rumla says it's time to sleep. I echoed it's time to sleep. When the day dawned, I met a Rumla in the 16th room, where he covered his head with a flowing gown full of lice. He was wearing dress full of bloodstains. He was chewing heavily. They told him that delegate from his assault arrived. Rumla inquired what the delegate had brought. They told him they brought 2 rats with them running, 2 fish graceful swimming, 2 birds swift and flight, and 2 goats with big livers. Rumla said that's not enough to wake him up. I admit my ignorance, which educated me. Motuna Karabab, I hide myself in your bosom and survive. Motuna Karabab. God can masquerade to be Sagbadron repeatedly. God can masquerade to be Sagbadron repeatedly to perform rituals because of children. You are the leaders, we are the followers. These are the ones that show the followers wisdom. Rumor told them to get alligator pepper, to get colina, to get bitter corner, to get alcohol. Their couple got the alligator pepper, got the corner, got the bitter corner, and got the alcohol. That is right, as now he is fully awake. Rumor, when you're fully awake, please look at me with your compassion. It is without compassion that the heavenly stars use and look at the stars below. Oh, Rumila, when you are fully awake, please look at me with your eyes which help one to secure great wealth. It's such good eyes that the heavenly stars use to look at the stars below. Oh, Rumila, when you are fully awake, please look at me with eyes which help one to secure good spouses. Such good eyes my spouse should use and look at me with a Rumila. When you're fully awake, please look at me with eyes which help one to bear many children. It's such good eyes a child should use and look at a well-decorated plate. Be for long, not too far, join us in the midst of all Iran life. If I hear all of our prayers, ward off all death, ward off all sickness, ward off cases, controversy, ward off fights, ward off litigation, losses, and our advice, ward off evil and danger from us. Help this sermon to be a blessing to all of us. We ask for protection, and also, Ifa, we ask that you would hear a word from Ifa, from Ola Dumar. Move my ego out of the way so that we can hear a word of you, an unmitigated word of Ifa. And I ask for your protection. Emma kamimene ama, Emma kamimene ano, Emma kamimene adelo kuntamule. Turi Ifa lori mi, boda timpanini, ni banani. Awati fa lelejo. Ifa, please come to our rescue. Come to our support. Come to our support. We call on the Odu Ifa. Moshetura, tiny of the feet of Tubu. The stripe of a chameleon is not big enough to use his headgear. Had it been enough to use his headgear, I would have taken it home and adorned my head with it. These Ifa's decorations to Aruela when going on a spiritual mission. To we call on locusts being certain payment. We call on assaults and make it rich. We call on Aruela with respect and giblet. Oshe Aruela is a good awo. Oshe Tura, I kick in a bagisa. The ash stretch up against the tree, cast fire from them. You see, if you're not worthy, you should be worthy. Should be worthy. I kick in a bagisa. And the mouth of one was a deep and the mouth of an awo. If no church have victory, should have victory. I kick in a bagisa. And the mouth of one was a deep and the mouth of an awo. If no church have joy, should have joy. I kick in a bagisa. And the mouth of one was a deep and the mouth of an awo. If no church have healing, should have healing. I kick in a bagisa. And the mouth of one was a deep and the mouth of an awo. To essing. Maybe so surely shall it be. Àṣẹ òrìṣà lẹ́nu mi o, àṣẹ òrìṣà lẹ́nu mi. Gbogbo tí mo bá màmá wí o, ìrúmọlẹ̀ ò bà, Ifá ò bà o, àṣẹ òrìṣà lẹ́nu mi. Pé mo dúró tí mo súre, bí mo pèrè tí mo súre, bí mo kúnlẹ̀ bí mo kúrẹ̀ bí mo jókòó tí mo súrẹ̀ ìrètí mo sùn orí ti bó. Orí ẹni làrúrẹ̀ ẹni orí ẹni làrúrẹ̀ ẹni mojúlọ mi ò fà máa wórí orí ẹni làrúrẹ̀ ẹni. Obore chasu Ifá ọba Ọlọ́run àti bàjẹ́dù Ifá ọba Ọlọ́run ó ṣe àrú ìlà Ifá ti bọ́. Olódùmarè and the divinities, we thank you for life. We thank you for health. Thank you for strength, food, clothing, and shelter. We've given praise. We've given thanks. We've asked for forgiveness. We've asked for the things that we need and desire. We ask that you will continue to support us and sustain us, guide us, direct us, protect us, and keep us safe. Keep our loved ones safe, our family members safe. Help us, Father. Help us, Olódùmarè, to find, follow, and fulfill our destiny. Ashe, Aboru, Aboye, Aboshishe, Aboto. Thank you all. Thank you so much for joining us. Once again, this is Oluo Fakola Day of Idinkai Temple Shekunderin. We thank you for joining us. You could be anywhere at this time, but you're here with us. So we thank you. So today I want to start off a little different. Those of you who are online, I want you to like and share because we have a really, really, really special message for today. Please like and share, and also give us a shout out online. I'll upload it here. Give us a shout out. Let us know where you're seeing us, where you're tuning in from, so that we can honor you as well. So today's temple service is going to be about something that's very unique. We don't often talk about aspects of things, like rudimentary aspects that stop our destiny. Today we're going to talk about destiny killers. And three things I want to focus on. They're not limited to that, but these are three things that make a big difference in the actualization of who we are, our destiny, and so on and so forth. So destiny killers: comfort, complaints, and complacency. Comfort, complaints, and complacency. So I want to talk about how we miss the mark in terms of achieving our greatest potential, in terms of living our destiny. And so many times we do this, and we do it sometimes unknowingly, sometimes we do it knowingly, sometimes we have a lack of faith, sometimes we come into Ifa, and Ifa is new to many of us. And it being new, we get into a space where we're trying to figure out how Ifa works. Does Ifa work? Sometimes we might be too comfortable in the position that we in to change, to transform. Sometimes we feel like we might have accomplished so many great things already that we feel, hey, I've already attained the destiny that I was put on this earth to do. But I'm here to tell you that destiny and achieving one's destiny is an ongoing process. It is a protracted struggle that every day you have to pick up the mantle of your destiny. Every day we have to get up and pray. Every day we got to get up and breathe. And doing these things are the things that move us closer to the perfection of our destiny. Every day we must wake up and pick up the process, pick up the charge. And that's really what my goal is to do. I want people, when they listen to Idinka Ifa Temple sermons. I want you to go back through the week and listen and be encouraged and help that sermon, help that process to give you that charge so that it will get you through the next day, get you through the week, and helping you to pick up the charge of finding, following, and fulfilling your destiny. I want to begin with Odu Ifa Eretiltura, and I want to talk about comfort. Ifa says in Irete Otura, Ire in the front, happiness in the rear. These we Ifa's decorations to the mother of Olu Koshe and to the mother of Olkin. Both were the wives of the Olofin. They were advised to offer Ebo in order to have successful children. Only Okin's mother complied. Ojuda, Ojuro, they were the Awo who casified for Okin, the younger sibling of Olokoshe, when Olokoshe was to send Okin on a very difficult mission. He was advised to offer, he complied. It is very painful. It is very regrettable. We have installed Okin as the Oba. One's mother is the architect of one's prosperity. One's Okin's mother offered a bow, and Okin became prosperous. One's mother is indeed the architect of one's prosperity. Also, one's mother is the architect of one's wretchedness. Olokoshe's mother failed to offer a bow, and Olokoshe became wretched. One's mother is indeed the architect of one's wretchedness. Ifa is saying on so many levels here that you have guides and examples that will help you to get out of that comfort place. In this story, there were two brothers, but before there were two brothers, there were two mothers. And both of these women were the wives of the king, the Oba. One son was slightly older, and that was more of the favored wife. That son's name was Olokoshe. And Olukoshe's mother knew that when the Oba passed away, naturally, my son is the first son. So he is the firstborn son of the king. That is the one who will be the next king. Okin's mother, she knew that her son was not the favored son. She was not the favored wife. So they both went and cast Ifa to see how their children would fare. The Babalao gave them the Odu Ifa Eretiltur and gave them the messages that they needed to raise both of the boys to be good men, to have a good work ethic, to be mannerable, to be children who would make them proud, because all of that teaching of greatness is in the hands of the parents. So, in terms of this, Okin's mother offered Ebo and she followed the advice. There's something about a person who is a dog, who no one expects you to win. Okin and Okin's mother were that. Olukoshe was the expected winner, was the expected future king. So his mother was like, why do I need to offer Ebo for Olukoshe? Why do I need to teach Olukoshe to do anything but live a luxurious life? Because he's going to be the next king anyway. So Olukoshe's mother did not offer Ebo. And as the two mothers raised their children, they raised their children quite differently. Okin, his mother taught him, wake up early in the morning, wake up at the crack of dawn. When you wake up, you've got chores. Your chores are to make your bed, clean the kitchen, take out the trash, prepare for school. He did that every day. He woke up at about 6 in the morning, and he got into this regimen of waking up, working, doing what he needed to do around the house. He was mannerable. He was respectful. All these times. And his brother, Olukoshe, his mother allowed him to sleep until 1 p.m. in the afternoon. He wasn't expected to do chores because she felt like, well, we've got servants for that. Olukoshe lived a comfortable life. At a certain day, the Oba passed. And when the Oba died, everyone in the community knew, Ashe, the next king is going to be Olokoshe. We know this. This is the first son. This is the first son born of the Oba. So talk to Olokoshe and let him know he needs to go to the place where we make kings. So they told him, Olokoshe, when we make you a king, you've got to wake up before the sun rises. You got to be up at 4 in the morning because we have some rituals. We have a grove that you have to enter into. And once you go into this grove, you cannot come out the same. It will be a new day. And we want it to coincide with the rising of the sun. So they gave Olukoshe this message. And he was like, Ashe, I'm going to do what I need to do. I'm going to wake up. And he was given this information at least 2 weeks in advance. His coronation was upon him. And so he kept trying to wake up. He was practicing on, like, you know what, let me wake up at 11. Couldn't wake up at 11. He got so accustomed to being in the habit of waking up whenever he felt like it. Got accustomed to just waking up at 1 p.m., 2 p.m., and that was his norm. His body, his circadian rhythm got accustomed to that. Oversleeping, overeating, and lazy every day. So at a certain moment, Olukoshe realized, man, I can't wake up at 4. Let me call my brother. So he called Okin. He said, look, Okin, what needs to happen? Look, the kingmakers are going to do something for me. I don't know what they're going to do. They haven't really told me. I think it's part of my coronation, but I'm a shoo-in for being king. I need you to go into the forest and bring back the thing that they're going to give to me. You go as my messenger guy. Just go into the forest, you procure what they are going to give me, and then you bring it back and give it to me, and then I can be king. So before Okin took the errand of his brother, he went to cast Ifa. And as he cast Ifa, Ifa said, you are about to embark on an incredible, special journey. What you need to do is offer a bow and continue to do the work that you were taught to do. Continue to do the work that you were raised to do, because this work indeed is your destiny. So Okin listened. He offered a bow. He continued to follow the advice. On that faithful day, he went into the grove at about 4 a.m. And the king makers looked perplexed. They were like, what's going on? And they deliberated. They were like, well, look, Olukoshe is the first son of the king. Shouldn't he be here? That was our message to him. And Okin told them, Olukoshe sent me. The kingmakers said, well, you're already back here, and you are of the bloodline of the king. Let us make him the king, because he exhibited all of the qualities that were royal. He worked for the people. He was a hard worker. He woke up early in the morning. He did everything that he needed to do. He was kind. He was courteous. He was respectful. And most of all, he did not allow comfort to get in the way of accomplishing the mission. So a king became the king. First point, comfort puts you in a position of false security. It makes you think all is well. It stops you from moving when necessary. Comfort is a killer. A couch potato is comfortable. The person will not move when necessary. They will not get a job. They are often being taken care of by others. Yet, they are of a grown age and capable of doing what they need to do. They are comfortable. They are freeloaders. Ejiogbe says, we must toil and sweat in the daytime in order to reap the dividend in the evening. Too much comfort makes one feel entitled. It is as if that individual who is too comfortable, too babied, that individual thinks the world owes them something. The world owes them a comfortable place instead of them making a stable place for themselves. Such comfort is an illusion, and often that comfort will stop you from acquiring your destiny. Comfort, it makes you feel so buffered and soft around that you don't want to venture outside of that comfort zone space into an uncharted area where you got to rely on something else. Comfort is a killer. Comfort often leads to complaining. In the Odu Ifa, Iworio Jawusa, Ifa says, Iwori Jawusa, the righteous, Iwori Jawusa, the guilty, Iwori Jawusa, whose destiny is manifesting. They were the ones who cast Ifa for Ode Lubada, the hunter, when going to the riverside to settle down. He was advised to offer a bow. He complied. This story is about the hunter. And the hunter was a very, very poor man. He didn't have anything for himself. What he relied on to get his daily bread was going out, hunting, shooting game, trapping game, bringing it back, either selling it, preparing it, or whatever. But that was his main job, and that was how he and his family members survived. If he couldn't catch anything, they didn't eat. One day, the hunter was tracking and he came upon the riverside. As he got to the riverside, he saw a giant fish sitting outside of the water. He took aim and he became ready to fire, and the fish looked at him and spoke. The fish said, "Hunter, put down your weapon. What you're looking for is wealth. Do not commit a sin by the riverbed." Then the fish went down deep into the water and came back up, and the fish had coral. It had pearls, beads. The fish had shells, and you know there's seashells. Cowrie shells is a system of money. So when the fish came back up, the fish had money that in such a degree that it would change the life of the hunter. Fish came up, and the hunter was so amazed, like, wow, I met a talking fish on a hunting mission, and he carried his wealth home to his wife, and it was enough for them to change their lives forever. His wife was like, wow, this is great, but we don't have kids. We don't have any children. It's cool to have this money, but we don't even have kids. Are you impotent? She said. And the hunter was like, man, she complained that we don't have kids. She said, well, if this fish exists, go to the fish and ask the fish to get us some kids. So the hunter went back to the riverbed, to the place where he saw the big fish. And there, lo and behold, the big fish was out there again. The hunter raised his gun, aimed it at the fish, and the fish said, hunter, put down your weapon. What you're looking for is the ire of children. Do not commit a sin by the riverbed. And the fish went down and came back akoshe, specific Ifa medicines. And he said, take this, you take it, and your wife take it, and you all will become very fertile, and you will have great children. The hunter listened to the fish, took the medicines home, encouraged his wife to take them, and 9 months later, they gave birth to children. When she had the children, she was happy and excited, but then she complained again. She said, you know what? I mean, it's cool. We got kids, but we're in this community. We have some money, but we don't even have titles. Nobody knows who we are. We need to have titles. Go and make that fish give us titles. So the hunter went back to where the fish was and raised his gun at the fish. And the fish said, hunter, put down your weapon. What you are looking for is the blessing of titles and elevation. Do not commit a sin by the riverbed. Then the fish went down and came back up with akoshe medicines and also other money that would assist the hunter and his wife in achieving great titles within their community. The hunter went back and took all the akoshe medicines, and shortly thereafter, both the hunter and his wife had achieved high levels of chieftaincy within their community. Then his wife complained again, and she said, you know what? This fish is good. But what would be better is if you were to go and kill the fish, because nobody else needs to get the blessings that we have. We need to be the ones with the monopoly of these good things. And we don't want the fish to give it to anybody else. Go and kill the fish. The hunter was like, look, no, I'm not going to kill this fish. This fish has helped us. This fish has made us great. She said, kill the fish. She kept complaining, kept pressurizing, kept telling him and convincing him. And finally, the hunter went back. He saw the fish. He raised his gun. The fish said, hunter, let down your weapon. Boom! And he shot the fish. Immediately when the hunter shot the fish changed positions with the hunter, and the hunter was down at the bottom of the water. And he swam back up, and he was in the same clothes he was in the first day he met the fish. The fish then said, we were helping you. You are our ancestor. We are your ancestors. Why would you harm us? All we ever did was give you blessings. So from now on, you will live in the state by which you came. The hunter's wife left him. His children left with the wife. His titles left. He had no money. He was destitute. Ifa is saying complaining and dissatisfaction will convince you that you are not blessed when you really are. Toll says, when you complain, you make yourself into a victim. When you speak out, you are in power. So change the situation by taking proper action. When we look at the actions of the wife, all she was doing was saying how dissatisfied she was, all complaining about everything, even though they had good things. Read a Stanford study even says that complaining is detrimental to your brain. When we complain, a hormone called cortisol is released into the body. And this uh, hormone is responsible for the fight or flight response. When our fight or flight response is activated, our brain redirects blood, oxygen, and energy away from essential body systems. It was found in this study that people who are optimistic were found to have a 55% lower risk of death across the board. And individuals who were chronic complainers were seen to have a 20, were seen to have more incidence of the likelihood, or 23% likelihood of dying from heart disease. Complaining is not only detrimental to your destiny, complaining is detrimental to your health. If you complain, you are not recognizing the reality, the blessings that you actually have. I want to make this point. We've talked about complaining, we've talked about comfort, and let's talk about a different level of comfort. And that comfort, that aspect is called complacency. Ifa says in Ejiogbe, I tried in vain to hide myself, but my Ori does not allow me to hide myself. I tried walking in alleyways, but my Edda would not allow me to walk in alleyways. Difa fun ile, Mother Earth, when coming from heaven to earth, she was asked to offer a bow in order to prevent anything from being placed upon her. She refused to comply, saying that everything was just fine the way it is. At that moment, the mat was placed on top of the earth. I tried in vain to hide myself, but my Ori does not allow me to hide myself. I tried walking in alleyways, but my Edda does not allow me to walk in alleyways. These were Ifa's declarations to Esin Tete, the fly, when coming from heaven to earth. She was advised to offer a bow in order to prevent anything from being placed on top of her. She complied. She washed her legs, she washed her feet, she opened her mouth, and an Ifa song came out. She said, I have both my hands and my feet. I dine with the Oba. I have washed both my hands and my feet. I dine with the Oba. I die no more. In this Ifa, we've talked about Ile, the earth. And when coming from heaven to earth, Ile was asked to offer a bow and refused to comply because Ile said everything was just fine. What could be placed on top of Ile? Then the mat was placed on top of Ile. The mat, when coming from heaven to earth, was asked to offer a bow in order to ensure that nothing would be placed on top of it. The mat said, I'm just fine. Everything is just fine the way it is. And then the throne was placed on top of the mat. The throne, when coming from heaven to earth, was asked to offer a bow, and the throne said, I'm fine. Everything is just fine. What can be placed on top of me? And then the king came and sat on top of the throne. The king, before coming to heaven, well, before coming from heaven to earth, went and cast Ifa. His spirit cast Ifa, and he was told, you need to offer a bow to ensure that nothing will be placed on top of you. The king said, I'm going to be king. What can be placed upon the top of my head? There's no need for me to offer a bow. Everything is just fine the way it is. And the crown was placed on the top of the king's head. The same thing happened for the crown. And then the feather was placed inside of the crown. And the feather was asked to offer a bow. The feather didn't offer a bow. And then the fly came. And the fly was asked to offer a bow so nothing could be placed on top of it. Only the fly offered a bow. The fly went from there, swam, flew down, and washed her hands inside of the king's water. They swat at the fly. The fly moved, started eating the king's food, and so on and so forth. Ifa is saying that when you have accomplished so much, that too can get you into a position that you think that, well, I'm already up here, and this is all that I can accomplish, and this is all that I need to accomplish. Ifa is saying, as you grow, as you go, work to do better. If you're in a good position, work for a better position. Work to better yourself. Work to make life better. Transform. If things are going well, analyze, what can I do to be better? Don't just sit back and say, I'm here, I'm on top of the mountain. Because the moment that we think we're on top, then something is put on top of us. Then something is added. We must continue to strive for greatness. Not stress, but strive. This drive assists in keeping us alive. It assists in keeping us moving forward. There's always a need to progress. Ifa says in the Odueji Ogbe, we cannot be as massive as an elephant. We cannot be as sturdy as a buffalo. No leader is as revered or as important as the Oni. No hill is as impressive as Igbadi Hill. Igbadi Hill is so important that it carries another hill on top of its head and points its mouth to the sky, like the elephant's tusk. These we fast decorations to Oba Lade Ajotoro Segi. He was consulting Ifa to find out if his life would be agreeable. He was advised to offer a bow. He complied. Now, the water I fetched at dawn, the water I fetched early in the morning, my destiny cannot be but as cool and calm. The water I fetched at dawn, the destiny that I have cannot help but be cool and calm. What is Ifa saying? No limitations. You aren't the elephant. You aren't the hill, but you are important. Know who you are. Know your destiny. No one can beat you at being you. So be you. Oftentimes, we compare ourselves to other people, leading to complaints. When we think we have attained what they have attained, we get comfortable and complacent. Ifa says, we must continue to strive. We must know who we are in order to move to our greatness. Because if we know who we are, we know that Olodumare has a greater plan than just what we can see with our eyes. Destiny. In closing, your destiny, our destiny oftentimes is outside of the confines of our comfort, complacency, and complaints. Sometimes the things that you feel are the curses in your life are really the catalysts, and these catalysts are pushing you to your destiny. We won't reach our destiny doing the usual thing. We continue to do the thing over and over and over and over again, wishing a different result. They say that that is insanity, but that will not get us anywhere. Everyone does not achieve their destiny in this world. Sometimes the folk that we think are actually our enemies are some folks that we need to thank, because those individuals are put in place at critical points in time. And if it had not been for that conflict, it had not been for that enemy, it had not been for that issue, we wouldn't be where we are today. Oftentimes, these conflicts define us. And it is a choice that we make to be great or succumb to the darkness. I remember going through a terrible divorce, filing for bankruptcy. I had nothing. I lost my job that brought me to Los Angeles, had an ex who was hell bent on taking my house. The children that I helped to raise weren't my children, they left, and everyone left. My ex was bringing other men to the house. It was crazy. Everything you could possibly think of was happening to me and harming me at that very moment. The things that I thought were comfortable were the things that were snatched from under me. I fell. I fell down. I kept falling. I even asked Olodumare, why are you doing this to me? Why are you allowing this to happen to me? I had no idea that being broken would build me for the better. Only those who truly rely on Olodumare during that time, at that moment in time, that is truly when I became an Ifa practitioner. That is when I really studied, because I didn't have any time to do anything else. It was either worry or study Ifa. And I threw myself into Ifa study. I truly learned Ifa at that time. Before that time, I don't know, I can't really say I was a true Ifa follower. I was going through the motions, but it wasn't until things got heated up in my life that I learned what I could truly rely upon. My destiny was outside of the confines of my comfort zone. And sometimes Olodumare and the Irumole have to shake life up, to shake you out of your comfort zone. The more broken you are, the closer Olodumare comes to you. The more broken you are, the closer the Irumole come to you. They don't come and comfort you from afar. They come close. They got to be close to mend the wound. They come when you're hungry. They don't come when you're comfortable, complaining, and complacent. When you're in a challenging situation, that is when Olodumare will act. In the Odu Ifa, Ogbe Kai Ifa says, Ogbe, let us go home, offspring of Osin. Ogbe, let us go home, the offspring of Ora. Ogbe, let us go home, the offspring of Ogun Shrine, spreads across the home frontage. These were Ifa's declarations to Lagaye in Ijesaland. He was advised to be miserly with his Ebo, for him to be blessed with all array of life, so that his Ebo would be acceptable. He was advised to be miserly with his Ebo, so that his Ebo would meet with approval. He complied. Before long, not too far, join us in the midst of our array. What is this verse saying? Ifa says, be miserly with your Ebo. On that particular verse, Ifa is telling you that this individual in Ogbeka had to be miserly with their ebo because the Irumole might have thought, okay, they got everything, they good. Some Odu Ifa say you got to pray every morning. Some Ifa says you got to pray before your Ifa in limited clothes because Ifa will see you as a person who's naked and needs to be clothed. Sometimes Ifa must see that you have nothing in order to act. You must offer a bow as if you have nothing because that is the true sacrifice. Like it's your last because Olodumare runs to your support when you are seen as humble. That brokenness of a person, the brokenness of the person that you thought you were, when you meet who you actually are, Olodumare comes to mend you when you say, I don't know anymore. I don't know who I am. I am not strong enough. I am broken. Olodumare and the Irumolek come close. They can't heal you from far away. They cannot mend, transform, introduce you to your destiny when you are distant or when they are distant. I encourage us to come out of the thought process of comfort all the time, complacency and complaining. Come out of that thought process and embrace your imperfections. Embrace little quirky things about who you are. Those things that, well, man, the other Babalawos, they said I gotta be the good character is perfect. It's not perfect. Sometimes you can want to cuss somebody out, and sometimes that desire to cuss somebody out is the energy that's going to break you up out of your comfort zone and make you say, Olodumare, I don't know. Help me. And that moment is when you will truly introduce yourself to your destiny. Thank you so much. Thank you all so much for joining us today. I think that that was something, not only a message for you, but that also was a message for me. That was a message for many of us. As we get to a space where we have to come up out of past ways of thinking and come out of that comfort zone into a place so that Olodumare can truly support us. Thank you all very much. I see some people sending shout outs, so I'm going to post them up right now. Thank you, Aboroboy, Aboshishe. Thank you all for joining us. I think that was uh, Queen, Liquid Waters, Aboshishe Aboto, Derek, Aboshishe Aboto. Thank you all. Malachi, Ashe, Robin. Thank you. Yes, comfort is a killer. Okay, so Malachi, thank you. He uploaded the information for Cash App. If you want to post any donations, whatever you would like to do, please share it. If you like the things that we're doing, Aboshisha Boto to you, Danielle. Thank you. Share Aljola. Thank you for these great comments. I sometimes I get caught up and I don't get a chance to read them, so I'm going to start trying to be a little bit more interactive with folks. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you, Aljola, for that, Robin, for that, Malachi. Hey, it's good to see you, brother. I haven't seen you. I share 100%. Thank you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. So we've got so many good things. I'm gonna try and get to all of these comments. So I'm gonna put it up on there. Also, I want to let you all know I'll try to do it every first and third Friday. We have conversations with Ifa. So we didn't do it last week. This is been me and my wife's birthday week, so we're gonna have an event today. So those of you who want to join in and hang out with us. Probably we'll have dinner somewhere in the neighborhood. Just you got my information. Just hit us up. Um, and yeah, if you like the things that we're doing here at Idinka, please donate, like, and share these videos. Thank you. Thank you, Aojola. Thank you, Malachi. All right, Shantae Taylor. Hey, good to see you, Ia. Good. Thank you for joining us. New Jersey, right? Thank you. All right. Thank you, Malachi, as well. All right. Abo Shisha Abo Ato. Thank you so much, Taylor. Good luck. Taylor's doing a lot of great stuff. We're so proud of the great things that she is doing on with her media. So shout outs to you. All right. Glenda, thank you so much. Egun's child. Abo Shisha Abo Ato. Hey, this is my dad. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dad. Okay. Hey, Dion. You're welcome. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much for the birthday blessings. I'm going to try and put everybody up if I can. But like I said, sometimes I don't get a chance to get to these. But today is a good day. Thank you. Aboshisha Aboto. Thank you so much, Malachi. Thank you. Thank you. So, um, we'll be having conversations with E5 this coming Friday. So join us. And like I said, if you enjoy the things that we're doing, you like it, like and share. And you can donate below. We've had Itarogun. We've just offered, we should be offering the abo for Itarogun very soon. Thank you. Sending love from Brooklyn. Ashe, spread love. That's the Brooklyn way. All right. Aboshishe Arthur. All right. Good to see you, Nicholas. Thank you. Thank you so much. Hey, Joy King. Thank you so much. All right, so what I want to do, let's end with prayer and energize for the week. Let's get tapped in and rooted into what God has for us this week and just feel energized. So, Ola Damara, we thank you for life, health, strength, food, clothing, and shelter. We thank you for all the wonderful, wonderful things that you've passed on to us, giving us the wisdom that you've blessed us with. We ask that you would allow us to take these Ifa messages and carry them with us throughout the week. Help us to not get caught up in complaining. Help us not to get caught up in complacency or too comfortable unnecessarily. Enhance our lives so that we can find, follow, and fulfill our destiny. Help greatness to embrace us and help us to meet ourselves on that path. All right. Thank you all so much. Once again, we love you and Oladumare bless. Aboru Aboy Boshishe.